Welcome to our next video in the Functional Fitness Gentle Exercise Chair-Based programme. So this is a 30-minute video, so we're a little bit longer than the videos that we've had before. So we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up and then we're going to do our main section and a little bit of a cool-down. If you remember, I said that all of those are about a minute and a half on an exercise, 30 seconds off, 10 minutes warm-up, 10 minutes cool-down. So we're going to start sat in our chairs. If you remember, we're sitting forward on the chair, abdominal muscles are in, our backs are nice and straight. We're going to start with that shoulder roll. So we're going to roll the shoulders round. So forward, up, back and down. Remember, we're thinking about keeping those shoulders nice and big. So we roll it forward, bring it up, take it back and take it down. So really loosen up that shoulder joint, and we're just keeping it nice and smooth to start with, nice and big, loosen it up. Now we're going to intersperse these exercises, a little bit of marching in the warm-up. So just so we can get the heart rate lifted a little bit, get ourselves a little bit warmer. So stay nice and tall, keep that little bit of engagement through the abdominal muscles, but loosen off that shoulder joint. So do remember, as we've said before, if you do need to use a chair for the back, you should sit right in at the back of the chair and sit as tall as you possibly can. So keeping it going, nice and strong, rolling it through. We've just got two more. So there's one, and your last one. And then we're just going to have that little march. So just nice and softly through the legs, just getting a little swing through the arms. So we're just starting to get it warmed up ever so slightly. So swinging through the arms. Remember, we're swinging forward and back. We're not swinging across the body. We're going to keep going forward and back with those arms. And we've just got 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring the feet down. If you want to keep a little toe tap going, just to keep those feet engaged, we're going to bring the arms down to the side, turn the thumbs out, palms forward, with that little circle through. So it's up to you with the feet. You can keep them moving, I can just bring them to a little stop if you prefer, or you could even keep a little march going if that feels all right for you as well. It really is entirely your choice. So remember, on this exercise, we're thinking about loosening up the shoulder joint. So we're pushing forward with the hands. The thumbs are turned out. Remember, we can do little circles. We can go a little bit bigger if we want to loosen them up and it feels okay through our shoulders. We can keep it nice and little, like we're stirring a pot. Remember, we can get a little toe tap, we can keep a little march going, or we can just focus on the arms. Entirely up to you. So just nice and smooth, nice and steady, loosen those shoulders up. It doesn't have to go too fast. You could go a little bit faster if you wanted. Again, you could go a little bit bigger if you wanted. Do make sure nothing's in your way. Don't want to be hitting anybody or anything. We've been in lockdown for quite a while now, so don't want to be hitting anyone. So keeping it nice and loose. That's it, and just a couple more. Okay, and just that little march out. So feet nice and light, swinging through those arms, pushing that elbow back, nice and strong. Remember, we're staying engaged through the abdominal muscles. Keeping it nice and strong, nice straight back. As I said, if you do need to have a little breather at any point, have that little rest back against the back of the chair, that's absolutely fine. So 4, 3, 2, we're going to take it to a heel dig. So we're going to dig the heel forward and back, forward and back. So we're thinking heel to floor, toes to ceiling. Hinging from the hip, movement through the knee, movement through the ankle. If you want to add in that little bicep curl as well, we can do. So just nice and gently folding at the elbow. And do remember what we said before, is all the movements through the arms in the warm-up, we can just get them moving to start with. That enables the muscles to think about what they're going to be doing in the main workout. So they start to work at that point. They think, oh yeah, that's okay. I can do that move. It's absolutely fine. We get a little bit of muscle memory. And do remember that you can do these exercises with or without weights. We're focusing on a muscle group. So we're thinking about this bicep, we're squeezing it, just a little squeeze. And then we're thinking as well about the front of the shin. And we're pulling the toes towards us just a little bit as we dig that heel out. So just warming up the legs, make sure there's no pain through the knees, only go as far as works for you. Keep the pace nice and steady. So it's nice and smooth, we don't need to go too fast. You can go a little bit faster if you want to, it's up to you. Last one, and that little march out. So again, swinging through the shoulder, working through those legs, just getting a little bit warmer, warming it up, nice and smooth, nice and steady. Really swinging it through. That's it, nice and strong. We're going to go to that toe tap for the next one. So 4, 3, 2, and bring it down. So I'm going to tap the toe forward, tap and down, tap and down. So remember on this one, we are pressing down into the toes, working through that ankle. So it's as if you're showing your shoelaces to the person in front of you. Remember, we can go right under the knee if we want to, or we can go a little bit further away. And again, we can add that little bicep curl in if we want to, or we can just concentrate on the legs. It's absolutely fine. Either of those is fine, not a problem at all. So just tapping that toe, working through the ankle. So on the toe tap, you'll find you have to squeeze the calf muscle a little bit more. So back of the leg into that calf muscle, a little bit of a squeeze. And you can also get a little bit of a hand workout in here. We can squeeze the hands up at the top, open up the fingers at the bottom, work into those hands at the same time, which is nice. It's good when we can get some more muscle groups working. So keeping it going, squeezing in, release, squeeze and release. Tapping that toe down, thinking about that ankle, getting that little bit of movement through that knee. Got one more on each side. So this is your last one, a little march. So marching it out. And then we're going to go to a knee lift as a final little bit of a warm up. So remember, we want to sit nice and tall, so we've got to bring the abdominal muscles in as well on this one. So we're nice and straight, we've got that swing through our shoulders. And the knee lift means we've got to move a little bit more through the hip. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. So nice and tall. We're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. So we're opposite hand across. We're lifting using the hip joint. We're not leaning backwards, we're staying sat nice and tall. So if we bring the opposite hand across, if we want to get a little bit more work through the centre, we can just give a little turn and a little twist over that leg. And then again, that's up to you. You might find you don't want to do that. You might find that's a little bit too much. You can just stay here. You can just stay with that nice gentle lift of the knee and the opposite hand tap. It's entirely up to you how much you work, how fast you go, how slow you go, how big your range of movement is. Do what feels right for your body. Make sure that you feel okay with all the moves. Yeah, that's it, keep it going. So just that little lift, squeezing those abdominal muscles at the bottom. So we lift that knee up, nice and steady. So again, they're all adaptive, all ages, all abilities. Everything can be adapted. So we've got 4, 3, 2, and your last one. Just give it a little march out. So we're going to go into the main section now. So we're going to grab hold of our weights. And again, remember, tins of beans, tins of tomatoes, water bottles, anything can be used. So we just kept those legs moving for a little minute. We're going to bring them down to a stop. Abdominal muscles in, straight back. Tuck the elbows in the side of the body. Palms up towards the ceiling. We're going to curl and lower. Curl and lower. We could do one at once. That feels better for you. Can do both together. Can do a mixture of the two. Can do a couple on their own. Can do a couple together. And we just really want to think about that bicep. Just there, right in the front of the arm. I'm going to squeeze, squeeze. So without any weight whatsoever, you can still get that workout. If you think where the muscle is, you really focus on squeezing into that muscle. Squeeze it in. So again, one arm, both arms. You want to make sure the shoulder to elbow stays nice and still at the bottom of the arm doing the moving. We don't want to hunch the shoulders up near the ears either. And take a nice long neck, nice and relaxed through the neck. Nice smooth breathing as well. Be careful, don't hold your breath at any point. So keeping it going, squeezing that bicep, squeezing that bicep. So handy when our biceps a bit stronger, good for shopping, picking your shopping up, good for anything really, bit of bicep strength. Keep it going, that's it. Couple more. So we've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to pop our weights down. We're just going to march our feet up, and as we are, we're going to stand ourselves up and we're going to come round to the back of our chair. So if you need to have a little breather, have a little breather, but if you want to just keep them moving, just keep them moving, it's absolutely fine. So we're going to do a little calf raise. So fingers onto our chair or against our wall if we need to. Feet, knees, ankles, hip distance apart. We're going to lift up on our toes and down. Up and down. Remember, we're squeezing through the calf muscle. We're scooping the abdominal muscles in. We're staying lifted nice and tall. We're thinking as if someone's got a string to the top of our head and they are lifting us up and down. Lifting up and down. So nice and controlled, squeezing that calf muscle. So again, if you're using the wall, we're just fingertips on the wall. Just lifting up and down. Making sure we're nice and strong through those legs. Do make sure we're not swaying forwards or swaying back. Could even go to one hand only on the chair, just your fingers on the chair. Do what works for you. Yeah, so squeezing up, slowly down. Make sure we're controlling the lift, controlling the lower. So we're lifting up and squeezing, taking it down. And if you wanted to, you could have a little hold at the top before you come back down. So we could lift and hold, slowly down. It's up to you. Work at whatever level works for you. We've just got one more. And bring it down. So either have a little rest for 30 seconds or can just keep the feet moving very gently. We're going to do our side step. So again, using your chair, either this way on or to the side, just keeping those feet moving. We're going to step to the side and together and to the side and together. So think about lifting over a little hurdle. So over that hurdle and back in, over the hurdle and back in. So make sure you've transferred your weight. You've got your balance on this leg before we lift this one. And again, you may find you need to hold on to the chair. You may find you need to hold on to the wall. You may find you want to do more than one step. You might want to go to 2 steps, maybe 4, 5, 6 steps to either side. And that's fine, that's up to you, that's great. If you want to do a couple more each way, absolutely not a problem. Another way of stepping it up a little bit is if you want to just tap your toe. So step and tap. And you might find that that, for you, is a good level to work at. And tap. Step and tap. And if you feel like even that is okay, you could step up a little bit further and you could step and a little balance, and a step and a little balance, and a step and a little balance. But do what works for you. It might be feet flat on the floor, it might be the tap, it might be the balance. It is entirely up to you. As long as you are nice and tall, it's under control and you are balanced. Last one, and that little march out. So again, if you don't want to march it out, feel free just to have a little breather at this 30 seconds. That's absolutely fine. We're going to do our little mini squat. So we're going to turn it towards our chair. Feet again are going to come out, ankles, knees and hips nicely in line. Hands just onto the chair. Remember, with our mini squat, we're pushing back through your hips, a little bend your knees, and then push up through the legs. So we bend, push back with the hips, push up strongly through the legs. So we don't ever want the knees to go forward of the toes. We want to hinge from the hip joint, abdominal muscles in, push up strongly. We want our weight to be in our heels, in our hips, and push up strongly. It's nice and controlled. It's almost as if you're going to sit on the chair and then it's just not there. Don't try and do it and try and sit down, because that chair's not behind you. It's a little bend in, push up nice and strong. So you want to make sure there's no pain in the knees. So it might be that that bend is really just a tiny bend and lift. A tiny bend and lift. And that is absolutely fine. Do what works for you. You may find you can go lower and push up. Or you may find it's nice and at the top and push up. And it's fine. Weight down into the legs. The chair is there for balance as you need it. So just keep that going. Again, pace is up to you. I would rather you didn't go too fast, because we want to keep the technique going and the position. Let's have one more. And again, that little march out if we can. So we're going to go for one leg balance. So chair's there as we need it to. Again, ankles, knees and hips nicely in line. Hold the chair. If you need to stand sideways on, if you want to stand against your wall, again, that's absolutely fine. So a little bend into your knees, weight down, little lift up on one leg. So that's it, just holding that balance there. Remember, it's just for 10 seconds. Transfer your weight onto the other side, lift up on that leg, a little bend into the knee. Staying nice and tall. Try not to lean on the chair. Literally, it's just there for a little bit of balance. Onto the other side, transfer weight, little lift. So we're not lifting this leg too far off the floor. Transfer, little lift. It's just literally just a tiny bit off the floor, just so we've got to stabilise through that leg. And you can use the chair. You can do hand on, hand off, hand on, hand off. See how that balance works. Other side. So you might be able to just lift your fingers a little bit. Might have to hold on, doesn't matter. Might be able to just do it with one finger. That might be alright. Other side and balance. Do make sure we don't lock this leg out. Keep that little bend into the knee. We want to make sure we keep that bend in the knee all the time. Other side and balance. So if we've got that bend in the knee, we can alter our weight a lot better than we can if we are really strong and locked on that leg. We don't ever want that. Other side, last 10 seconds. Little balance. That's it. Looking good. And bring it down. So a little march out. I'm going to march it round until we sit back down again. So marching round, having a little sit back down. We're going to do one last exercise on our arms. We're going to grab our weights again. So just keep those legs moving for a minute. Hands are going to come out. So nice and straight, little tiny bend into your elbow. Sitting tall, abdominal muscles in. We're going to lift the shoulder height and down. Lift and down. So we don't want to go higher than your shoulder, definitely no higher than the eye line. We're just moving through that shoulder. Nice front raise. Again, if you want to, you can do one arm at once. Or if you want to, you can do both arms together. It's entirely up to you. You've got a choice there. You can do a little bit of either. One arm, two together. Entirely up to you. Do whatever works for you. Yeah, make sure we've got the abdominal muscles pulled in. Make sure we've got the back nice and straight. We're nice and controlled. Go whatever speed works for you. Again, you might find you want to go a little bit slower. Again, I would say don't go too much faster because you want to keep it controlled. Don't be tempted to go faster and swing back through the rest of the body. We want to keep the abs in and we want to just stay nice and tall. We don't be swinging about. We might be throwing tins of beans all over the house if we start doing that, and that'll never do. So just a little lift, and raise it up. That's it. We're nearly there. Just got 10 seconds left on this one. That's it. Last two, 1 and 2. I'm going to pop those down and we're just going to have that little march out just to finish off before we do our cool down. Remember, as I said before, cool downs at this level of exercising are a little bit longer because we want to make sure everything's stretched out and cooled down properly. So they do last for a little bit longer. So we're just nice and smooth. Keeping those legs moving. We're just going to go back to that little heel dig forward and back. And the cool downs very often mirror the warm-ups. We have some stretching at the ends. The moves are very, very similar. We just start to slow it down. So heel dig and lifting up, dig and lifting up. That's it. Nice and steady, nice and controlled. And you should feel your breath just starts to come back to normal, heart rate back to normal. I'm going to tap the toe and down, tap the toe and down, tap the toe and down. So just nice and smooth, nice and controlled, not too much, keeping it nice and steady, keeping those abs in, staying sat nice and tall. Again, if we do need to have a little breather, a little rest at the back of the chair at any point, absolutely fine. Not a problem at all. And then just a little march, just a little bit smaller through the feet. Nice and steady, nice and smooth. Then rather than doing the lift with the knee, we're just going to do a little bit of a mobility work through the centre of the body. So we're going to bring the feet down to a stop. And we're going to do a little twist to one side, twist to the other. So just sitting nice and tall, just taking the hands round to one side of the body and then the other. So we're just loosening off that midsection of the body. Only go as far as works for you again. Just as far as feels okay for you on that twist. That's it. Nice and smooth. We're just going to bring it middle. We're just going to have a little lean to one side, back into the centre, a little lean to the other. So again, we're just loosening off a little bit of mobility to that midsection of the body. We want to make sure we finish that everything's nice and loose. Don't want any tightness anywhere. And again, a lot of these moves become exercises when we do full classes. A lot of these moves become a little bit longer, a little bit harder. we use them as exercise. It's really good for you. Just stretching. I'm going to bring it back up into the middle. Thumbs out, that little circle. So again, that little circle round, just loosen off those shoulder joints. So stir in that pot, but we're keeping that pot nice and small now as we cool it down. And then bringing it in and rolling the shoulders back. So big circles back with those shoulders. Thinking about rolling up towards the ears, back and down towards the floor. Up, back and down. Nice and strong. That's it. Just really loosen them up. Perfect. We'll do a little bit of work through the ankles. So just one foot, we're going to heel and toe. Heel and toe. And if you imagine there's a 50p piece on the floor, you've got to put your heel on it and then your toe on it, and your heel on it and your toe on it. So we're thinking of just keeping it nice and steady and just loosening off that ankle. Nice and smooth. Heel and then toe. Heel and then toe. Okay, and the other foot. So heel and then toe on that 50p piece. So same spot if we can, so that way we get that real movement through the ankle. So nice and smooth. Just a couple more on this leg. And we're just going to stretch everything out. That's it. And last one. Okay, sitting nice and tall. We're going to bring one arm out in front. And take it all the way across your body, and then either hand to hand or hand to forearm. We're just going to help it across a little bit. So just feel the stretch into the back of this shoulder. So just squeeze that arm in, almost if you're giving your own arm a hug. So this one just stretches into the shoulder. It's nice, like a good shoulder stretch. Always makes you feel better. And stay sat nice and tall. If you do need to shuffle yourself back into the back of the chair, do feel free for the stretches. And the other side, so arm out in front, take it all the way across, hand to hand or hand to forearm, bring it in. So again, stretching to the back of the shoulder, squeezing the arm across the body. And it's good. Then we're going to release it out, hands either onto the hips or into the small of your back, or you can hold the back of your chair. I'm going to open up the chest and just take the shoulders back. So open up that chest, hands are on the hips if you want them to be. It's the same stretch wherever those hands are. I always think it's like the figurehead of a boat on this one, the figurehead of a ship. Nice proud stretch. And then we're just going to ease it forward a little bit, bring our leg out, heel down, nice straight leg. Imagine there's a piece of string attached to your toes and you're pulling it in towards your hip. Weight onto your bent leg, little lean forward, chest lifted, chin nice and level. You should feel a stretch up the back of that leg. Nice and round again, pulling that toe towards the hip and bring it in, other side. So take it out, heel down. Imagine that piece of string, pull those toes up towards your hip, weight onto your bent leg, little lean forward, chest lifted, chin level. Again, you should feel the stretch up this leg, pull that toe in. And bring it up. And you are all done for this 30-minute video. So hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again for the next one. Thank you very much. Goodbye.